Imagine waking up one day and the world has lost its color. The sky isn't blue, the grass isn't green. Everything is a washed out, lifeless gray. But it's not just your eyes that are broken, it's your mind. In this colorless world, every warm smile you see is hiding a dagger. Every act of kindness is just a setup for a brutal betrayal. In a world where trust is a fatal disease, the only thing keeping you alive is absolute, unwavering, suffocating fear. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving deep into the darkest, most psychologically devastating corner of the entire ReZero universe. We are talking about the Oboreru IF, better known in the community as the Wrath IF. Now, really quickly, if you're new to the lore, the ReZero IF routes are official, alternate timeline stories written by the author Tape Nagatsuki, exploring what happens when Subaru gives in to one of his deadly sins and makes a single, catastrophic choice differently. And the Wrath IF? This is the story of a boy who drowned in his own paranoia. A boy who gained the entire world but lost his own humanity in the process. Today, we are breaking down the rise of the Purge King. To truly understand the monster Natsuki Subaru becomes, we have to look at the exact moment his mind shatters. The divergence point for this timeline happens way back in Arc 2 at Roswell's mansion. We all know the main canon. Subaru wakes up, finds out Rem has died from a Maybeast curse, and Ram, blinded by grief and rage, tries to murder him, thinking he's a cultist spy. In the main story, Subaru makes the ultimate sacrifice. He throws himself off a cliff to trigger return by death, resolving to save the twin maids no matter the cost. But guys, think about it from Subaru's perspective for a second. He is just a normal teenager. He has been slaughtered, gutted, and traumatized. And now, the girl he was trying to bond with is dead, and her sister is literally trying to rip his throat out with wind magic. In the Wrath IF, the fear finally wins. When Ram's wind blades tear into his flesh, Subaru doesn't jump. He doesn't reset. The sheer terror of dying again overrides his courage. He gives in to his weakness, and he runs away. He escapes the Mather's domain, leaving Ram to her grief, and the nearby village to be completely slaughtered by the Maybeasts. He survives, but the cost of that survival is the utter annihilation of the Emilia camp. Now, you have to understand the domino effect this causes. With Rem dead and Ram gone, Roswell's grand 400-year design is completely ruined. His gospel, the book that tells him the future, is rendered useless. He is instantly disqualified from the royal selection. And Puck? The Great Spirit makes a cold, terrifyingly calculated decision. Puck's only priority is Emilia. Without Roswell's backing, the mansion is no longer a safe haven. It's a liability. We actually witness the fall of the mansion through the eyes of Frederica Bauman. She rushes back, desperate to save her home. But when she arrives, she finds the mansion locked in a clouded, white demise. Puck is floating there, completely devoid of emotion, and he tells her bluntly, "Roswell was my miscalculation." Frederica tries to fight. She bares her fangs, but she doesn't even stand a chance. A single freezing breeze blows, and Frederica is frozen solid. Just like that, the sanctuary is gone. But the true executioner of the Mather's domain isn't the cold. Roswal, having lost his entire reason for living, simply gives up. He wanders his freezing halls like a ghost. And then his executioner arrives. Not a monster, but a man in a blue kimono and zori sandals, armed with a legendary blade. Cecilis Segmont, the Blue Lightning, the strongest warrior of the Wallachian Empire. Why is the strongest man in another country here? Because an anonymous employer from the shadows promised him the one thing he wants: a path to the heavenly sword, the absolute pinnacle of swordsmanship. Cecilis draws the dream sword, Masayume, and with a single beautiful flash, Roswal's head is severed from his shoulders. 400 years of obsession, gone in a heartbeat. And the mastermind who orchestrated this hit? The anonymous employer who bought the loyalty of a nation's strongest weapon? Fast forward 2 years. Natsuki Subaru is no longer a clumsy kid in a tracksuit. He is the Purge King. He is the supreme leader of Pleiades, a massive underground crime syndicate that holds the 4 great nations by the throat. His headquarters is a magic castle called Pandemonium, a fortress of obscene, disgusting wealth. He wears all black, wrapped in a bright orange scarf, a twisted homage to his old life, and his eyes are sunken with deep, pitch black circles from severe sleep deprivation. But we need to talk about Subaru's mental state here, because this is where the genius of Tappei's writing really shines. Subaru hasn't just become evil. His psychology has been warped into extreme paranoia. To Subaru, the world has literally lost its color. It is entirely monochrome, black and white. He cannot tell the difference between water and blood. He cannot distinguish the faces of his own soldiers. This is a psychological manifestation of his absolute inability to trust. Subaru believes that everyone lies. He thinks human beings are fundamentally deceptive creatures. So, how does a guy who trusts absolutely no one run a massive criminal empire? Mutually assured destruction. Subaru doesn't use the power of friendship. He uses leverage. He commands absolute monsters like Halibel, the top shinobi of Kararagi, and Cecilis of Wallachia, by holding their most precious things hostage. He meticulously finds out what every single person in his organization loves most: their family, their wealth, their dreams, and he holds a knife to it. If you obey, your family lives. If you disobey, everything you love burns. There's this incredibly chilling scene that perfectly encapsulates who Subaru has become. An old mob boss named Sigram comes to Pandemonium to pledge his loyalty to Pleiades. Sigram kneels on the red carpet, sweating, suffocating under Subaru's silent, dead-eyed gaze. Subaru is actually polite. He speaks softly. He tells Sigram a proverb about a drowning man clutching at straws. He listens to the old man, smiles, and says, "Let's have a nice partnership." Sigram exhales. He thinks he survived. He stands up, his mind flashing to his family waiting for him at home. And then you just hear the ping of a gold coin flipping into the air. Subaru catches it, looks down. Tails, he whispers. Before Sigram can even react, the floor rushes up to meet him. Halibel decapitates him so fast, so cleanly, that the old man's body doesn't even twitch. Subaru immediately covers his mouth, physically nauseated by the sight of the blood. He doesn't enjoy killing, it actually makes him sick. But when Cecilis asks him why he killed a guy who was clearly telling the truth, Subaru's answer is horrifying. He says, even if it does not seem like they're lying, liars are going to lie after all. First, cut the buds, then break apart the branches. Subaru is preemptively executing people just on the microscopic chance they might betray him in the future. And this absolute, suffocating paranoia spares absolutely no one, not even the people who once showed him kindness. Which brings us to the tragedy of Beatrice. Remember, the mansion is frozen, but Subaru uses his underworld resources to systematically seal off every single door in the mansion, forcing Beatrice's door crossing magic to connect to the only door left available. When she steps out, she expects an enemy. Instead, she finds a hollowed out boy. Subaru looks at her with those void-like eyes and tells her that they are the same kind, both consumed by an incurable disease called despair. Beatrice is bound by Halibel's shadow magic, completely helpless. And Subaru, he actually thanks her. He thanks her for being the only person who truly drew close to him during those few days at the mansion. And then Beatrice, tears welling in her eyes, asks him the question that has haunted her existence for 4 centuries. Are you, Betty's, that person? Subaru looks at her. He gives her a gentle, agonizingly kind smile, and he lies. Yeah, I'm that person. It is the cruelest lie he could possibly tell her. But in Subaru's twisted, broken mind, it is an act of ultimate mercy. He orders Halibel to drop a black kunai. Beatrice cries, but she accepts the blade, finally freed from her 400-year contract by the boy she once saved. Subaru severs his past, burying his trauma in blood. The Purge King has built an impenetrable empire of fear. He has painted the world in black and white. But guys, there is a secret hidden deep within the heart of Pandemonium. Behind a vault door with 50 keyholes that cannot be opened by any physical key, there lies a pure white room. A bird-cage. And inside that cage is a silver-haired girl. The only thing in Natsuki Subaru's entire universe that still retains its color. Deep within the heart of Pandemonium, the fortress of the most ruthless crime syndicate in the world, there is a door. If you were to walk up to this door, you would see 50 separate keyholes. But here's the twisted part. The physical keys to open those locks do not exist anywhere in the world. The only way this door opens is if a great spirit, Puck, fabricates keys out of pure ice to match the magical wavelengths. And what is the Purge King guarding so heavily? Mountains of gold, legendary weapons, the weaknesses of the 4 great nations? No. Behind that door is a pure white room, a birdcage, and inside it is the only thing in Natsuki Subaru's monochrome black and white universe that still has color. So let's talk about Emilia's situation here. In the main canon, Subaru fights tooth and nail to make Emilia a queen. But in the Wrath IF, Subaru didn't save Emilia. He kidnapped her. He pulled her out of Roswell's freezing mansion, completely isolating her from the royal selection, the outside world, and the reality of what he was doing. Her room is entirely white. White walls, white floors, a white bed, and she wears a thin white nightgown. It is a sterile, isolating environment. But guys, this is where it gets incredibly messed up. Subaru is a monster. He is a mass murderer who rules through absolute terror. But once every 10 days, the terrifying Purge King reverts to a frightened, exhausted, broken child. He walks into that white room, lays his head on Emilia's lap, and he sleeps. It is the only place he can sleep. He cries, he begs for her help, and he seeks her warmth. To Subaru, Emilia is his anchor. In a world where everyone looks like a gray, washed out fake waiting to betray him, Emilia's silver hair and amethyst eyes still shine. She is real. But look at this from Emilia's perspective. Ask yourselves in the comments, is she an innocent victim here? She is angry at Subaru for taking her away. She knows she is a prisoner. But when this boy, who is essentially ruling the world, comes to her room weeping and clinging to her like a lifeline, she doesn't push him away. Why? Because Emilia, stripped of her goal to become king, stripped of her purpose to unfreeze her forest, finally feels needed. It is the textbook definition of a toxic codependency. Subaru needs her to retain the last shred of his sanity, and Emilia needs him to feel like her existence has value. But outside that white room, the reality of Subaru's rule is suffocating. Take Frederica, for example, the diligent maid who just wanted to protect her home. She survived the freezing of the mansion, but now she wears a literal collar around her neck, forced to serve the man who destroyed her life. She acts as his poison tester. Every single meal, she has to take a bite first. But what keeps her from just slitting his throat when she serves his food? Subaru holds the lives of her brother, Garfield, and her grandmother hostage. There is a gut-wrenching scene where Frederica brings Subaru his food, and she sees a list of syndicate members on his desk next to a gold coin. Subaru picks up the coin, flips it, and catches it. Heads, he says. Your brother and grandmother are safe. Guys, let that sink in. Her family's survival literally depends on a daily coin toss. Subaru tells her to get out, and Frederica runs down the hallway, sobbing uncontrollably. This is the reality of the Purge King. He has caused the deaths of over 126,000 people, And a debt of blood that massive, it doesn't go unpaid forever. The illusion of absolute control shatters on a random, ordinary day. A messenger named Russell Fellow is in the reception hall, presenting a box of incredibly pure magic stones to Subaru as an offering. It looks like just another mob boss meeting, but the messenger smiles and says, "From the kingdom of Lugunica." This could be called the response to the Purge King's atrocities. Before anyone can even blink, an onslaught of blinding white light swallows the entire reception room. Absolute awe, hyping up the character. 18 elite mercenaries, warriors whose names are feared across the underworld, are instantly vaporized into white dust. They don't even know what hit them. When the smoke clears, standing in the ruins of the parlor is the kingdom's ultimate answer. Fiery red hair, blue eyes that mimic the sky, a pristine white knight's uniform without a single speck of dust on it. Reinhard van Estrella, the Sword Saint. He didn't bring an army, he is the army. With a single swing, he just leveled the heart of pandemonium. But remember, Subaru doesn't rely on trust, he relies on leverage, and he has the ultimate countermeasure standing right next to him. Like a literal clap of thunder, Cecilis Segment, the blue lightning, intercepts Reinhard. The impact is so heavy, it throws the Sword Saint back. Cecilis isn't fighting to protect Subaru. He tells Reinhard straight up, "I'm drowning. We're all drowning." Cecilis wants to reach the heavenly sword, the absolute peak of martial arts, and the only way to break his limits is to put his life on the line against the strongest man in the world. Guys, this is one of the most insane matchups in ReZero history. Cecilis draws his two legendary blades, the Dream Sword, Masayume, and the Fiend Sword, Murasame. And in response, the air itself starts to ululate. Reinhard draws the Dragon Sword, Reed, a sword that only lets itself be drawn against worthy opponents. While these two absolute titans are tearing the castle apart, shaking the very foundation of pandemonium, Subaru doesn't stay to watch. He knows a lost cause when he sees one. He mocks Reinhard one last time, completely unimpressed, and retreats into the shadows with Halibel. The Empire is falling. The walls are crumbling, and the enemies are breaching the gates. But amidst the chaos, the earthquakes, and the falling debris, we cut back to the White Room. Emilia is lying in bed, feeling the castle shake. Puck floats down to her. The Great Spirit looks at his daughter, his usual playful demeanor completely gone. He tells her the absolute truth. Reinhard is here. It's Subaru's defeat. Puck tells Emilia that she has to make a choice right now. If she stays in this room and waits, Reinhard will find her. She will be rescued as a poor captive princess. She will be the victim. But if she leaves this room, if she steps out into that hallway of her own free will, she becomes an accomplice. She becomes a perpetrator. And guys, this is where Tappe drops a massive detail that completely flips how we view Subaru in this timeline. Emilia gets out of bed. She walks up to the massive, heavily fortified door. The door that supposedly needs Puck's magic to open from the outside. She places her hand on it, and the entire locking mechanism instantly crumbles to dust. "Subaru, you twit," she whispers. "The door was never locked from the inside. Subaru designed it so that Emilia could break it and leave whenever she wanted to. He built her a golden cage, but he left the door unlocked the entire time. He was trusting that she would never leave him, but respecting her enough to give her the choice. And in that moment, as the walls of pandemonium collapse around her, Emilia finally makes her choice. She doesn't wait to be rescued by the kingdom. She runs out into the crumbling, blood-stained halls to find the monster she loves. The magic castle, Pandemonium, is falling. The ultimate fortress of the underworld, built on the blood and fears of over 100,000 people, is collapsing under the sheer, absolute power of the Sword Saint. And amidst the falling debris, the Purge King is running for his life. Subaru is sprinting through the crumbling hallways of his empire with his shadow, Halibel. But the danger isn't just behind them, it's inside the walls. Suddenly, a figure leaps out from the shadows, screaming and swinging a dagger aimed right at Subaru's throat. It's Frederica, the maid who has been forced to serve him, living in constant terror of her family being executed, finally snaps. She takes advantage of the chaos to try and end the monster who ruined her life. But Halibel is the strongest shinobi in Kararagi for a reason. He effortlessly disarms her and pins her against the wall. Frederica is sobbing, screaming with bloodshot eyes, begging Halibel to understand that killing Subaru is the only way to free everyone. But Subaru doesn't look at her with anger. He doesn't order her execution. He just walks up to her, looks into her terrified eyes, and slowly unwraps the bright orange scarf he wears around his neck. Beneath that scarf, permanently bruised into his flesh, are the dark, violent handprints of a girl who strangled him with everything she had. Ram's handprints. Subaru looks at Frederica, who appears entirely in monochrome black and white to his broken eyes, and says, "It won't do, Frederica. I won't allow that black and white you to kill me." To Subaru, Frederica is a fake. Her hatred is justified, but she is just another pawn. Only the real ones, the ones with color, have the right to judge him. He turns to Halibel and gives his final order. "Take Frederica and let her get away." Halibel hesitates. He tells Subaru that he actually wanted to be proper friends with him. Subaru smiles a sad, broken smile. He admits that if he hadn't run away all those years ago, maybe they could have been, but it's too late now. Halibel fades into the shadows, leaving Subaru completely alone in the collapse of his dreams. But guys, while Subaru is wandering the halls, bleeding out from a random assassin's knife to his ribs, something absolutely insane is happening on the other side of the castle. Emilia is running barefoot through the corridors. She is looking for Subaru, but instead, she runs right into Reinhard van Ostrea. Reinhard sees her and immediately drops into his noble knight persona. He is covered in blood from his battle with Cecilis, the dragon sword reed glowing in his hand. He tells Emilia she is safe now. He is here to rescue her and take her back to Lugunica. He tries to explain to her exactly who Subaru is, revealing that the Purge King has a confirmed kill count of 126,702 people. Reinhard thinks he is saving a captive princess from a tyrant. But Emilia just stares at her own hands. She hears the kill count. She hears the atrocities. And she realizes if she goes with Reinhard, Reinhard is going to kill Subaru. So what does the pure, kind-hearted Emilia do? She spins around and completely impales the sword saint through the back with a massive sword of solid ice. Guys, she literally backstabs the strongest character in the series. Reinhard coughs up blood, completely blindsided. Why didn't his divine protections stop it? Because Emilia didn't attack with killing intent or malice. She attacked out of a pure, desperate, instinctive need to protect the boy she loves. Her codependency completely bypassed Reinhard's spider sense. Emilia summons Puck to hold off the wounded Reinhard, and she runs away, leaving the sword saint behind. She has made her choice. She isn't a victim anymore. She is an accomplice. And this leads us to the climax of the Wrath If. The moment that breaks Natsuki Subaru forever. Subaru, clutching his bleeding side, is stumbling through the hallway. Suddenly, he is knocked to the floor. Someone is hugging him so tightly it hurts. He looks up and he sees silver hair. He sees amethyst eyes. He sees cherry-colored lips. Emilia. She is covered in cuts. Her nightgown is torn, but she is smiling. She is the only thing in his entire visual field that still has color. She looks at the mass murderer, the boy who kidnapped her, and she says, "Subaru, let's run away together. And if we can't, I'll die together with you. I need you. I want you to be with me." For any normal person, this is the ultimate salvation. The girl you love is accepting all of your sins and offering you unconditional love. But Subaru's mind doesn't work like that anymore. When he hears those words, he doesn't feel joy. He feels stark, paralyzing fear. He violently shoves Emilia away. He crawls backward, screaming at her. He covers his ears, tearing at his own hair, begging her to stop. Think about it from his perspective. In Subaru's mind, Emilia's kindness and nobility were absolute. He knew he was a monster. He wanted her to hate him because hating him was the correct, moral thing to do. But if Emilia can forgive a man who slaughtered 100,000 people, it means her morals have compromised. It means she has changed. And to a boy who is terrified of betrayal, change is the ultimate enemy. If Emilia can change from hating him to loving him today, what stops her from waking up tomorrow, realizing what a monster he is, and changing back to hate him? What stops her from betraying him? "It would have been fine if you hated me," Subaru screams at the top of his lungs. "Please don't pretend to be in love with me when you'll just betray me one day." And as he screams those words, he watches the color drain out of her. The silver fades, the amethyst dulls. Emilia turns gray. She becomes black and white. By offering him love, she lost her color. She became just another fake, deceptive human in his monochrome world. Subaru turns his back on the crying, broken Emilia, and he runs. He abandons the only person who tried to save him. Subaru runs to his office, the one room in the entire castle with defenses even stronger than Emilia's birdcage. He opens a secret door hidden behind a bookshelf. Inside the dark, windowless room, the sound of heavy iron chains echoes against the stone walls. And looking back at him are two vibrant pink eyes. It's Ram. For 2 years, Subaru hasn't just been hiding from her. He captured her. He chained her to the wall in the deepest, darkest part of his empire. And as Subaru looks at her, he realizes something beautiful. Ram isn't gray. Her pink hair, her pink eyes, the color of her blood, it's all perfectly vivid. She is completely colored. Why? Because Ram's feelings for Natsuki Subaru have never changed, not for a single second. She looks at the boy who let her sister die, the boy who ruined her life, and she gives him a bloodthirsty, hateful smile. Finally, did you come wanting to die, Barusu? And Natsuki Subaru smiles back. Because in a world where everyone lies, where every act of kindness is a trap, and where even love can fade into betrayal, Ram's pure, unfiltered, absolute hatred is the only truth left in the universe. Her hatred will never change. And for the Purge King, drowning in a world of fakes, that unchanging hatred is his ultimate salvation. And that, guys, is the chilling conclusion of the ReZero Wrath IF. Tappei Nagatsuki is an absolute master of psychological horror. And this storyline proves just how razor thin the line is between the Subaru we know and a monster capable of burning the world to the ground. Let me know in the comments down below, what did you think of Subaru's twisted logic at the end? Did Emilia do the right thing by stabbing Reinhard? I want to read all your theories. If you enjoyed this massive deep dive, please hit that subscribe button, leave a like to feed the algorithm, and let me know which IF route you want me to cover next. Sloth, pride, gluttony, the choice is yours. Until next time, stay safe, don't lose your colors, and I'll see you in the next video.